You know, there's a big question in the air, though. What's going to happen with Resource Rumble in Season 6? Resource Rumble came out a couple seasons ago, maybe only a season ago, and they've done nothing with it since. I think it's a decent game mode because it incentivizes different kinds of heroes. They just need to add more maps to it. But what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments.
Then go ahead and deal yourself in, Legion. The more cards, the better.
Is Magic hitting on me? Doesn't she know I'm a married man? Come on, man, you gotta control yourself. I know I got that steed, you know, I've risen off all... I'm not even gonna ruin the slang for all you little zoomies. There's nothing worse than when Unk uses the lingo. So I'm gonna stop. Let me tell you something about Gambit, boy. Let me tell you something about Gambit. This map, kind of interesting with the composition we have. We do have double power boost, though. That's huge. Oh my god. Let's get the heck out of there. See, that's a Hulk that's doing a good job right now. He's breaking into backline, trying to get to the healers. Oof. Decent job, decent job. He caught me on my back foot. This is a matter where Hulk can get further than everyone else, but he has no one to back him up, and he doesn't have the power to back up how deep he's gone in. People have argued with me, people have been arguing with me recently, in my comments, in my polls, that dive is a thing in Marvel Rivals, and my opinion is it's not. That's also the opinion of many pro players. And I think the best way to explain it is that none of the kits come together to produce Dive. Dive requires all the heroes to go in at the same time as a unified force, and you want to fight past the capture point. But the only one that's able to do that is Hulk. And notice how no one is really sticking with him there. Penny wants to be on her side of point. None of the healers really want to be over where we are. Only Ultron really wants to be up in the air, you know? I guess Gambit can be in the pit, but it's not like he's immortal. Dude, stop running.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
He actually made me miss my cleanses there. Don't tell me bro got dropped. I think my Thor... I don't know what happened there, bro. Well, that sucks. I'm not gonna hang around there. Yeah, poor network connection. Whoa! So it wasn't even just him. No, you know what? I'm scuffing that lobby. Let's discuss more about dive. So you have someone like Angela, who people would consider a dive, but really she's about the brawl. She's not tanky enough to dive on her own, and her self-healing, she has to land and fight in a small circle in order to do this. The speed of a lot of these heroes is too fast. They'll escape her circle. She has to tether them and combine all of her mechanics together, which is a big thing in dive. You know, if you have to use all your cooldowns just to get there, you don't have cooldowns to fight with. Obviously, you have high mobility DPS, but a lot of these guys are really flankers. They want to go around to the supports. Blade, don't get me started on Blade. We already talked about Hulk. I mean, Captain America does have the ability to go in there, but this is another matter of he cannot project the force. Much like Hulk, he's a bit underpowered because these guys are really about stalling the point. More so in Captain America's case, he wants to just hop around point and be annoying. Bruce Banner is more about protecting his team, jumping over to them and throwing out bubbles at critical moments. Now, Daredevil, one of the first heroes I could argue might be kitted for dive because he's a seek and destroy kind of guy, and he has multiple ways to increase his speed. Maybe we're starting to inch towards it, but we definitely don't have it right now. The heroes in the sky are a very interesting factor, but I would say they're too brittle to really support this playstyle. Maybe Iron Man, because he gets a lot of overshield and he has the ability to jet out of there in bad situations. Jeff the Shark, he literally does have a dive power, but it has been nerfed since Season 0, and again, this is one of the factors that makes dive not really a thing in this game, because Mantis also used to have more speed, which allowed her to keep up with the frontline tanks like Captain America and Hulk, but now she doesn't have that. She lags behind. She's really moving at the speed of Magneto. Now, Magic, she's more about tossing people up, definitely in the brawl. Luna Snow, decently high move speed, but she doesn't want to be in the front line like that. She wants to be in the back. She wants to create space and use her distance to her advantage. Loki creating the Pit of Death. He can go forward pretty fast, but then you're wasting his clones. Rocket Raccoon is more about being a sneaky little son of a gun and just getting out of danger. You don't really want to use his jets to get in. And this page is full of DPS, and I think it really proves that none of these DPS are kitted for dive either. A lot of them are flankers. You know, and Squirrel Girl, she throws nuts from a high ground. They want to brawl, they want to fly and pick their moments from a distance. None of them really want to get in deep in the thick like that. Thor definitely improved. This is another instance of we may be moving toward dive again, because his Odin Awakened form has gotten more powerful. He has the ability to change direction while doing his hammer dashes, and that means you can get map kills pretty easily. You can do some pretty interesting things. Speaking of the thing, he's pretty hard to use in a true dive. He definitely wants to brawl or circle around a convoy because he's a huge target, man. We can't understate how immediately noticeable he is, and he just gets destroyed by the entire team as soon as he goes a little bit too far forward. The final hero people were arguing was Venom, and Venom, in my opinion, is a brawl. He's not a dive. The whole purpose of Venom, much like the Hulk, is to get in the middle of the enemy team and split the strategists from the front line so that they can't heal properly, and you disrupt the fights. You split the fights into like 4 different quadrants, and then you win with shock and awe. But you're not diving past the point to go fight further to their spawn room. And that's the real critical principle here, is that you're trying to take more of the map. You're trying to fight on the 60-yard line rather than the 50-yard line, where it's much more even, it's much more random, there's much more chaos. That's my assessment of why dive is not a thing in Marvel Rivals. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Be sure to comment down below and subscribe for more Marvel Rivals discussions just like this. Maybe check out this video next to me. Some drama in the Marvel Rivals community going on surrounding AI, and I really want to know your guys' opinion on that as well.